Hello, my name is Doko, and YouTube is not a place for artists. Now, be careful, because when I say artist, I'm not talking about painters, I'm not talking about avant-garde French cinema. When I say an artist on YouTube, I'm talking about anyone who's not moist critical, basically. Anyone who actually makes something is an artist to me, okay? Whereas the opposite would be someone who just reacts to videos. That is the distinction that I'm making here. I'm not talking about Jean-Michel Basquiat here, okay? And I think this will apply to a lot of people, whether you would consider yourself an artist or whatever. By my definition, if you want to create stuff that isn't just a guy talking into a camera or reacting to something somebody else made, if that's what you want to do, I would say you're an artist, because you're trying to evoke emotion in someone. You're trying to make something that makes somebody else think about the nature of our world, right? And it doesn't have to be this crazy high concept like avant-garde cinema or something. You can be an artist in very simple ways. And I would say that I'm an artist in a very simple way. Over the past 7 years or so, I've uploaded my artwork onto YouTube, and some people wouldn't call it art at all. Some people would say it's nonsense, and that's fine. But I like the idea that you can upload something to the internet, and people are like, what is this? This is stupid. This is nonsense. This is absurd. And I can do that for free. That's great. You know, I'm as satisfied with someone being angry and outraged at the thing that I've made as I am then being delighted and, you know, thinking deeply about life and making a better change. As long as there's a reaction, I'm happy. I don't feel like there's great value added to, you know, in a video where someone is just watching Logan Paul, his latest goof or whatever. I don't know what the latest thing is. Theo Von falling off a chair, okay? That's not interesting to me, somebody just reacting to that. It's not art, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So if you are the type of person who wants to create stuff and you want to create stuff on YouTube, I just want to give a little personal opinion here. It's great. I want to see more of it. I love seeing people create like original things or something that makes you say like, oh, I haven't seen something like this before. Even a YouTube poop, you know? Whatever, just something fun. If you're the type of person who wants to create something fun, YouTube is not really the place. That's not to say it can't be done or that you shouldn't try, but I've just noticed in my like 5 years or so, like maybe 4 years of taking it seriously as like a full-time artist uploading on YouTube, the thing that I wish I knew when I started is that all the odds are against you. You know, the house is stacked, right? And the house being YouTube. YouTube always wins. And the way YouTube is made is not for you. It's not for creators. And it's actually maddening to me that they call like YouTube creators. Like that's what they call it. They say people are the creators of YouTube. The great minds of YouTube, the creators, when the whole system is set up for people who don't create anything. Now, I guess you could say that me reacting to Theo Von falling off a chair does create something. It does in a way. I'm not going to totally deride it, but strictly talking about those people who create the original thing that's being reacted to, I just want to say, in my own personal experience, it takes time to make something good that's original. And the biggest conflict with YouTube is that YouTube is all about, like, every day. Come on, we need a new video every day because we need bigger profits than we had last year. And last year, we needed bigger profits than the year before, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. So you need to upload every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. I don't care. as long as people watch. And the thing about creating stuff that's actually good is, first of all, it takes time to make it. And second of all, sometimes it sucks. Third of all, a lot of the time it sucks. When you're taking risks and you're putting yourself out there to create something that you don't know if it's going to work, like this isn't a tried and tested formula, it's my own original idea, and it won't apply to everyone. Like the thing that I'm making is not a reaction to Call of Duty Vanguard or whatever the new one is. You know, it's like something that a lot of people won't get. When you're in that mindset of like making this original thing, everything is stacked against you because you're not uploading every day, you're not getting people to watch the entire way through to the end, and what was the third thing? Sometimes it sucks. Because you have to fail, you know, you're taking a risk. It's not proven that what you're going to do is definitely going to succeed. And so, the silver lining of this, because I'm a positive guy, all right? I'm not here to just tell you to give up. The silver lining to this is that when you achieve it, when you make something that's original, or original enough to call your own, and it's good, and people like it, there is no feeling in the world that is better than that. When you get it right. And that's what you do it for. You do it because when you get it right, and when people like it, you know, sometimes you get it right and people don't like it. But if you get it right and people see what you've done, and then they respect it, and they're commenting, and they're thumbsing up, and they're viewing the video with their eyes in great numbers, you feel on top of the world. And I've made things that are so like risky and not YouTube, you know, and there's no reason it should be successful, and maybe it gets like 6,000 views, and that is incredible. I am absolutely delighted with that, as I should be, because there's no reason I should have like 100,000 views on an experimental piece of like YouTube poop, you know? There's on a piece of poop. There's no reason why that should have 100,000 views. I'm not going for that. But if it gets 6,000, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of people who watched my experimental video. And so that's why you do it. But now I just want to say, because, okay, like, you may know me, you may not know me. Some people know my channel, The Small Dude. Some people know this channel, Doko. I've made a lot of different types of things, but the consistent thing when you're making like an original thing is that you have to take the wins when you make something good, and you have to be realistic with like, okay, 5,000 people watch this, that's really good, I should be happy. But the thing that unfortunately you have to remember is that you don't make any fucking money. Like you won't make money from it. And you're not in it for the money, and that's fine. But I guess I'm just saying, because I'm old now. I'm 28, all right? And when I started making YouTube videos, like consciously, full-time, like really, really trying for YouTube, I was, I guess, like 25. And so when I was doing it then, I had no concept of, you know, the future. I was just like, I'm doing this now. This is a good idea now. I like how this thing looks. It's satisfying. Some people are watching it. That's great. And I'm happy. And then you get like down the line, and then your friends start having children. And they start buying houses. And you have to start thinking like, okay, I can continue making my funny experimental videos forever. But what is going to happen at the end of it? And I'm such an optimist that I never want to give up. I never want to stop just making whatever it is that I want to make all the time. But I guess I got to a point where I realized at some point, well, I guess you have to make money, but I think it's important to use your skills to do something that has like wide appeal in order to make sure like you can afford food at the grocery store. All right. And then you can make the experimental videos on the side. And it's kind of a catch-22, because if someone had told me that when I was 25 or younger, because I've been doing it my whole life, but you know, for YouTube, if someone had told me like, wait, before you start your YouTube channel, you might want to make money later on, and you could be messing yourself up for later in life, I wouldn't have listened if someone said that to me. And even saying it now, I kind of don't even listen to my own advice, because I'm so like adamant that I must do what my vision tells me. But I guess I'm just making this because I have to accept the reality that YouTube will not cater for you. YouTube doesn't care if you're making experimental stuff or if you're making like a creative thing. In fact, they don't want you to. They do not want you to do that. Stop. They're telling you, why can't you just make a reaction video? Why, oh why? Why can't you just steal videos from TikTok and re-upload them on YouTube? Like, YouTube is telling you that's what you should do, and we will pay you for that. And in my experience, when I spend a month making a video that, like, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so like everything has to be right, and I'm like tweaking. If there's one pixel missing, like if there's something on screen that isn't in my eyes perfect, I have to change it. So when you're like that and you spend a month making a video and you upload it, it kills. It fucking kills. Because you know already that the inevitable reality is that, like, not a lot of people are going to watch this. But then, like, you try and make it perfect and you spend a whole month on it and you finally publish it, and there's no amount of views in the world that will make it worth the while, you know? So, because by nature it's like a risky thing. Now, okay, one caveat, because you might be thinking this. You might be thinking, okay, Doko, but what I'm making is uniquely creative and supreme, unlike anything else, in a way that will be commercially successful and innovative and doesn't suck. Okay? Because you have to kind of have that mindset if you are creating something. You have to think this is going to be, like, people are going to freak out when they see this. This is going to be big. That's how I feel with every single video I've ever made. I'm like, this one's going to be big. And then I release it, and then it doesn't get big. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that makes way more sense. It makes way more sense that this isn't big. Because this is weird. The thing I'm making is weird. How would it be massively popular? Especially when you see what is popular on YouTube and you're like, that is not what I make. So when you see reality, you understand. But I guess I get a bit swept away in the passion and the like optimistic naivety of thinking every time that this thing I'm making is going to be the exception to the rule. I am going to be the next Skibbity Toilet, you know? I have to say, I've never watched Skibbity Toilet. I've seen like clips or something. I know what the gist is. I get the plot, the basic premise, I guess you could say. And I have to say, Skibbity Toilet is one of the rare things that I think actually is creative and original and art on YouTube, which is massively popular. And I'm sure you know what Skibbity Toilet is, right? We're all familiar. If you see it, you have to admit to yourself, this is like nothing else. Isn't it? It's like you don't see that. There aren't 10 different like Skibbity Toilets in the world. There's not. Can you name like 10 things on YouTube that are like original and creative? Like the top YouTubers ever? How many of them are like, you know, actually make something? And look, it's hard to talk about this stuff because it comes across so pretentious, I know. But my passion is to recreate that feeling that I had when I was a kid, when I would watch something like TV show, film, when I would listen to music, and it would just take me to another world, you know, and I wouldn't be thinking about school and my house. Two places I wish I never was, you know. I hated being at home, I hated being in school, when I put on headphones and listen to music, it takes me to this other world. And like I start thinking about I don't know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like Green Day. But these are stimulating thoughts as a kid. And like I really want to provide that feeling for other people. I want them to watch something and just be like taken away from their life for 20 minutes or whatever it is. And for me, that just has always been so much more fun through something that's a bit like vague and ambiguous, or something that like is a bit like outside this world. Whereas for comparison with like a talking head video where it's me talking to a camera, like this is nice, I like this, okay, don't get me wrong, there's value in it, but a part of me just feels like it's so real. It's so real, god damn it. It's just a man in a room. This is a real room. See? No, I fucked that up. Oh my god. What I'm saying is, this is real, and that's fine, but you want to be taken to somewhere that's not real. In your head, you know? You want to be taken to a world that doesn't quite exist, but it's close enough to reality that it can teach you something about like your own life. That's what I think art is. And I guess YouTube just isn't the place for it. You know, the thing that's really been like the whole reason for making this video is that I keep trying. I keep trying to like find a way to make art on YouTube, but to do it in a way which you can do regularly, because that is like the most important thing with uploading stuff online, that you can do it at least once a week. You know, it has to be that if you want to do it full time. I've been trying to find a way to like merge these two things. And I've just found over the past while that like whenever I upload something, I feel like physically sick. And it's always been this way, like since the first time I uploaded something that I thought like, ooh, this is a bit risky. This might not get any views. It doesn't matter if it gets views or not. When I upload it, I have the most negative thoughts you could ever imagine. Like I click upload and it says 0 views. And I'm just looking at it. And of course it's 0 views. I uploaded it 12 seconds ago. I'm like, oh my god, no one watched it. No one watched my video. And I always think about deleting it in the first like 30 seconds because no one watched it. It's ridiculous, but like, no matter what I do, even if I wrote it down on a piece of paper and put it on the computer, remember, no one will watch in the first 12 seconds. It doesn't matter, like it's in there. And I actually don't have a problem with that. That is normal. That makes sense, obviously. But my problem with it is that it's impossible to not look. So if you made a film or if you recorded an album, and when you put out that album, it's not easy to see how many people are like watching your film or listening to your music at any given moment. So, I mean, in the 90s, for example, I was reading this biography about Korn, the band Korn, and they used to have to get to a phone somewhere when they were on tour, get the phone, type in their manager's number on a Monday, and talk to their manager and say, do you have the latest numbers on how many albums we've sold? And then he would be like, hold on, yeah, I'll get back to you. And then he's like, okay, yeah, you've sold 10,000 albums in total. And like there was such an effort to find that out. And in the meantime, the thing is like growing and growing. But with YouTube, it's like you have second by second analysis of exactly how many people are watching, like at this very moment. And you can't not look. Because when you upload a video, like you're always on this homepage which shows you the real-time statistics with like every fucking analytic that you can imagine. And technically you can just upload a video and get off the computer as quickly as possible, but they've designed it in a way that makes you not want to do that, you know? And you can't change it. You can't do anything to hide the statistics or to just not look, except for turning off your computer straight away, which, okay, I should do, right? There's a solution there that I'm not doing. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that, like, they are trying to get to you YouTube is trying to make you look, because they want you to be on your toes. They want to light a fire under your ass to keep uploading videos. And I'm sure you've heard YouTubers talk about this like all the time. I know that I don't really care when YouTubers talk about like inside baseball about how YouTube works. But I guess I always thought that the people who were complaining about YouTube weren't making stuff that's any good anyway. Because to be honest, there's a lot of YouTubers who will complain about like, oh, I'm obsessed with the numbers. But like they're doing really well and they're just reacting to memes. So I don't feel bad for them. And I guess what you don't see on YouTube is people who actually like create original things. When they complain, no one cares because no one watches their stuff anyway, because it's so out there, you know? Like, I don't know if you remember when animators were complaining about YouTube because like YouTube was really like not catering to animation at all. And then animators just went away because no one even heard them complain because they just got wiped off the fucking face of the earth. So I guess this is probably like a pointless pursuit. I'm probably talking to nobody right now, but there will always be people who want to create original things. And that's the thing that I can't really reconcile, is because I know that what I'm saying applies to people. It's like a historical truth. There are some things in the world that will never change. One of them is that people will miss their loved ones when they die. And another one is that people will want to create. Right? That won't change. And I want to create, like really badly. I have a huge passion for it. And there are other people who do too. And I want to hear from people who feel like that. What's their experience? And my experience is, where do we go? Where do we go to create? Because this website is not like catering for it. But then, okay, listen, this is the second point to my argument here. Then just don't use YouTube. Don't use YouTube to create original stuff, because YouTube isn't catering for it. They don't want you to. Okay, so now that we've accepted that, where the hell do you create stuff? Where? Huh? In my local YMCA? Is that it? Is that where stuff is created? No. Is it in my local theater? Is it in my fucking music venues in my city? Not really. Is it, should I become a filmmaker and release my film into cinemas? Do people go to cinemas? Not really. So when I think of like traditional ways to get creative media out there, television? Is there original stuff on television? Now, do you even know if I'm talking about cable television or Netflix? You know what I mean? Is there even a difference? If you want to create something, like something original and cool, do you want to put it on Netflix? That doesn't say. I'd rather put it on YouTube. What if you're a stand-up comedian? Are you going to put your stand-up special on Netflix? Or are you just going to put it on YouTube? If you're a musician and you release an album, are you going to ship it out to stores in your area? Or are you just going to put it on YouTube? This is the thing that I keep going back to, and I used to be a live musician. I'd be playing my songs for many years. That was my thing. And I also had a job in radio, and my side thing was YouTube. And then the pandemic happened and everyone went online, and I was like, oh, everything online is just like the real world except much easier, and I can just upload stuff to YouTube for free. And then big businesses were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that as well. So like every business and every creative outlet now is just on the internet as well. So uploading your film to Amazon Prime Video is kind of just the same as uploading it to YouTube with extra steps, isn't it? So I don't really have an answer for where art is created today. You know, where are the great creators of this day? I don't know where they are. I genuinely don't know, like, who is the top artist, who's the top creator of today. I don't know. Is it Post Malone? I think it is Post Malone, actually. I think he's the top creator. Original music. I don't have an answer to that, and I would love to know, but I think if you take a look around at any industry, every industry is like minimizing cost and maximizing profit and churning out the biggest pile of slop that you've ever seen in your life. So I don't have an answer for that right now. All I'm saying is that what I have come to realize is that I need to do something that makes money, because I'm broke as fuck and I will not be making a living off my art, I don't think. Maybe that's my own fault. I don't know. I'm not saying it's the world's fault. Maybe it's my fault. But that's what I've realized. I need to do a proper thing, and then I need to do my art on the side. And more importantly, this can kind of work because it's good twofold. You need to do something consistent. Not just for the fact that, like, if you're off the internet for 2 weeks, you might as well be dead. You know? Talk Tua disappeared for 3 weeks and everyone thought she was in jail or committed suicide. Killed herself. So that's how it happens on the internet. If you don't do things regularly, you're gone. You're gonzo. You're donezo. So I know that people are confused what's happening with this channel right now. For my own mental clarity and for the sake of consistency, I'm just going to upload videos here regularly, just like this, a man talking into a camera. One, because at least I'm just out there doing something, which I feel like is the first step, that I just need to do something to just be online in some way. But also two, even if this video just goes into like Creed from The Office's Word document. See, you get that reference? That's a pretty mainstream reference. You should get that. Even if this video is uploaded directly into a fucking, like, nowhere. It just goes into my wall. My computer's not even turned on. Even if that were the case, I'm still just doing something every day or every other day. And that is good for the mind. No matter if you have any intention of making a career out of talking to a camera or what, it is just a good habit to do. So that's why I'm doing this now. I feel like I've explained that really badly, because I'll be honest, I'm doing it partly for me, and I'm doing it for me and I'm uploading it for you, okay? Because I could just save this onto my computer, but I do think it is actually worth your time. And listen, more importantly than anything, I am suffering. I am not a man who's mentally well right now. I have to come to terms with the fact that making art is difficult. It's harder than I thought, I guess. I don't know. I'm not the perfect man. Not everything I said here today was perfectly sane. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now. So I'm Doko, you are you, and I'll talk to you next time, which will be soon. All right, goodbye.